Hello, this is Victor at RestoreYourMercedes.com. This video is for Kyle in Georgia, and this is the harness from SL600. It's the V12, obviously, and this is the engine harness body mounted, it's called. So we're gonna go over these wires and see what I see, what needs to be done. Okay, Kyle, so first things first, we'll start with the further area over there. That's like this is the like sort of outwards area. So this is like the inside the car for the most part. So it appears to be, let me see, no, that's not for the inside the car. This is some positives, well, whatever it is. I mean, you know, the harness is down under here, so this is just what I see. Like in this department, I don't see any issues. All the wires, they seem to be fine because they were not suspected to high temperature. Plugs seem to be okay as well. Is this inside the car? I'm trying to think now, where would this one go? That way? Okay, well, this is weird. Okay, fine. Now here you got obviously some grounds over here. A couple of these are rotted out, as you can see. Those are the ones that I will fix. Of course, we have to do that. This little extension here, this is the switchover valve, it appears. These look all fine. Plugs, of course, are missing, so I will actually have to add up connectors here. Maybe resolder these two. These are like a little kind of flimsy looking. This one, and the intake air temperature sensor, see, it's just the loom, because here it's flexible, but with temperature the plastic tends to get really hard, and it's not the wire itself that is very hard. The wires are still pliable. As you can see, they're not breaking apart, so it's just the outer shield. There's nothing to really be concerned about, as you noted in your email, or in your note. This is the that's irrelevant. This is just the blinker for the engine control to read codes. Now here we have diagnostic module here. They're all fine here. They never go bad on this, in this one. We have a little damage here. I don't know what happened here. It seems like these two, they were together and were rubbing against something. I don't understand why, but obviously this is to be repaired. Well, mass airflow, of course, we have new cables because pigtail was replaced, but the splices, I opened them up, I just unwinded them, and obviously these are all gone, so that is to be repaired. Moving along, that's the mass airflow for passenger side. Okay, so here it lays. I have to do it on the floor because the harness is very long, so my bench will not, it's not large enough for it, so I'll just do it straight on the floor and solder all these wires in. These seem to be some sort of a main positive. Here's another positive here. There's like a power distribution block on the V12 sitting next to computer. You got the main, and then you got a couple of positives there. This one, to be honest with you, it appears to be wheel speed sensor for the ASR module. These never fail. That's the wheel speed sensor on front passenger. Okay, so moving along, oxygen sensors. Now these have some damages, just like this one. So I don't know what happened here, but it looks maybe a mouse chewed them up a bit. This piece, what is that for? I don't remember, you know, I can't remember each and every plug, but if it's in the vicinity when it goes into the mass airflows, That could be something for HVAC. Oh, this might be for that the fan that cools down computer box. Where's the, I don't see, where's the opening for it? It's supposed to be there's supposed to be a little fan that actually it's probably on the bottom portion of this box. So basically there's a little fan that cools down that cools down computers. So it's not something vital to the engine. You'll get the codes though when computers can run really hot in this box. So, oh, I think the attachment for the piping is on the upper portion of the upper portion of the computer box. You're gonna have another like aluminum case on top sitting, and then there will be like a hose attachment, and there's a little fan, like a blower. So that's that. So now I'll fix it anyways because it's already removed. This is the connector for the main engine harness. They don't go bad. We have next here is a throttle body connector. This one is passenger side slave unit. We'll double check on these. Sometimes they fail, but based on these wires, I don't see any problems here. They're fine. They usually fail on very early V12s. I've seen it only once in my life. Here is a little peak. Wires look fine in there. Only seen, like I said, once in my life on the 91 model. It was a gray market first V12, very, very early V12 that came to US. So I'm here because usually they imported them in 92, and that was like 1991 original, built in 91 early. So that one had some issues with the throttle body wires. This one seems fine. So there we have it. This is our area next to the computer box, something like that. You got some plugs here and there, whatnot. This goes inside, and these are the oxygen sensor connectors. They're bolted inside the vehicle. So that is the entry point for those inside the cabin. They run by the floor to the floor and to the transmission tunnel. I'm looking at these wires here, and they don't go bad. I'm just, because one of them is chewed up a little bit here. The only thing is that the wire itself is not damaged. It's just the shielding seemed to be damaged. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just repair the sheeting, because you see, oh, okay, well this one is chewed through. Yeah, this one is damaged because the wires themselves, if you look at it, yellow and black, that's the signal lines. The other ones are usually heater line. This is signal line. Signal line is usually shielded, and you see a little bit the resemblance of a little shield right there, like it's like a electromagnetic shield. It's grounded, but it's grounded further out. So yeah, I'll deal with that too. That needs to be done. All right, so let's move along here. The area of interest. Okay, so basically what I will do is the mass airflow sensor on the driver's side. Again, you know, new cables here. Here are the area. This is the area where they spliced them in, obviously to original wires, and everything is in pretty dire shape. So that is to be done. I'm gonna have to unwrap the whole thing and rerun all these new wires. I'm gonna solder here, shrink wrap and all that. So that is that. Now these wires go into fuse box that go on that is installed on the driver's side, so they're fine. We're not gonna have any issues there, so we can push them along. Let's see this piece right here. So this one, these two harnesses, they run along with each other on the driver's side. So you have a throttle body for the primary throttle body plug right here. You got hell is this one? This one is bizarre. Oh yeah, this has to be the ABS pump, ABS module. You know, where the solenoids are and everything. That's what it is. That's what it appears to be. That's fine. Then they never failed in this area. Let's look up the grounds here. They seem fine. Some common wires here. Okay, that's gonna have to be rewrapped. So that is also out. What else have we here? This one is our speed sensor on the driver's side. These two. That is a pre-charge pump, a SR pump. This one I don't remember. I don't remember what this one is, to be honest with you. I was just there. Okay, so that is that portion of the harness. We're fine there. Mass airflow I already spoke about. Further out the line we have some other cables. These are ignition modules. They never go bad. Another ignition module. 4 for the ignition modules. These are, if I remember correctly, these are crankshaft sensors. No, not crankshaft. These are cams. Crankshaft position sensors plugged in directly into ignition module. These are camshaft sensors. They're also fine. I don't see a problem here. All of these wires, they look unwrapped, but they will be just fine. Some switchover valves. This one is missing its connector. I also will install one. Not a big deal. That could be for the MOT gas tank evap. The evap solenoids. That is that. Okay, these wires, they move along down the line toward the front of the car on the driver's side. So ignition coils here, all of these wires, they're unwrapped, but they look just fine. Okay, this is our AC pressure switch. That is fine. Another AC pressure switch. There's low pressure, high pressure switch. Those two. Ground. This one, let's see. There's the ignition coil. What is this other one for the ignition coil? I don't see it. What's going on over here? So these ignition coil wires, 2 of them here. So there's gonna be one that is going to be for the second ignition coil. Well, you'll figure that out when you get it back. What else? Okay, AC switch is fine. These wires look fine to me. The AC pressure switch is high and low side. Okay, another intake air temperature sensor. Same thing here. Insulation, that outer shield is soft when it's cooler, and it's harder when it passes through hot areas around radiator. So again, it's not a concern. Don't worry about that. And it appears that somebody already put in some shrink wrap. It appears, because that's what it seems like. You see, it's built in pieces. So somebody already tried to just shrink wrap it. I just want to open this up right here later on. You have electrical tape in this area. I'm thinking that maybe somebody replaced the wire that goes to the intake air temperature, which I don't know why it was done, because originally the whole harness will have this cloth tape, and that's what I use. I use cloth tape, and colors are kind of different, and the gauge of the cable is different, and the heat shrinking wrap is different. So something to look in here. There's got to be some splices, it appears, right over here. So I'm gonna open this up and double check on this driver's side. Passenger side is fine. It's just stiff, but it's gonna be fine. Okay, so you have your fan, coolant fan, and this appears to be a coolant fan resistor. There's some grounds, and I assume this is your secondary coil. You got some other grounds going on over here, and AC compressor plug for the AC speed sensor and clutch. So there is just oily, but you know, it is what it is. So this is basically what I see. That's all I wanted to show you. These are the problem areas that I have an issue with, and that's what I'm going to fix. And the rest of the wires should be just fine. The left portion is totally fine. All of these are fine. It's just a couple of chewed up areas over there on the oxygen sensor and the blower fan for a computer box. Couple of plugs, the actual plastics, you know, the connectors themselves, the housings to be installed. Mass airflows redone because the mass airflows were not done properly. You have to solder them right into these into the one of these one and one, these two. So you're gonna solder them directly under. And intake air temperature sensor here, a little kind of sad. I will double check how it's soldered. So it's not extremely critical for engine performance, but that just your angle, ignition angle a little bit based on intake air temperature. Also, there's a plug missing here. These are like switchover valves. This you probably will find on the intake manifold, like next to the intake manifold. You got EGR valve and you got air pump valve, stuff like that. So that's that. What I can also do on this one, I will. My thinking is, I'm gonna make it soft first, warm it up, cut it all around. I'm just gonna wrap it so to make it pliable. So this way it's not as stiff, because yeah, see the wires are extremely stiff. But even if I break the outer shield just now, the wires are perfectly fine. I never had an issue with these. Never saw an issue with these either. Okay, so I think this is where we are. It's a piece of work here, but it is what it is. So we'll get it going, so you'll get yourself a good working harness again. Alright, so this is all for me. This is Victor at RestoreYourMercedes.com. Thank you for watching.